Hi guys, welcome to LSP TV, and this is Understanding the Language of Price Foundation course. This is a course that I've been developing for years, to be honest, and trying to find a way to kind of culminate everything that I know into something that makes sense. Has taken a long time, and it's not easy. I still haven't finished. There's a lot, excuse me, there's a lot of thought that goes into the material that I'm delivering because I deliver the material in a very specific way. And the most important thing to understand, before I continue is this isn't a fix everything course. This isn't a course that once you've kind of gone through, you'll know everything. Experience really does play the biggest role in everything that you do. Whether it's trading, whether it's investing, whether it's, any other endeavor that you do in your life, you have to experience that before you become, good at whatever it is that you're doing. There are some of the things that I want to kind of go through, and I'm going to get this out of the way now. This will be a paid course. Yeah, this is 25 years of my life, putting it all together, into this course, and obviously, that's taken a lot out of me over the years. Now, there's countless educators online, okay? There's plenty of free information out there. You don't have to go through this course. Okay, that's never what this was about. I didn't want to kind of portray myself as, I am, the guru or anything stupid like that. I find things like that very distasteful. But I genuinely believe that I have a gift in the way that I present information to people in a way that they truly understand it. Okay, and it is my absolute belief that if you go through this course, you will come out the other end a much better trader, yeah, and investor. And to be honest, I'm not going to say a better person, but you will be a much more disciplined trader and investor, and it will spill over into your life as well in a very positive way, because you simply cannot gain skills, like these, whether it's discipline, whether it's scheduling your time, whether it's being persistent, patient, all of this. You can't go through this process and learn these skills and it not affect your life positively. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, or what I'm going to be doing, is the course is split into 4 sections effectively. Okay, and we have section 1 up here, section 2, section 3, and section 4. Okay, and what you see in front of you here, so for example, I'll take one, support and resistance. This is something that you hear a lot about, okay, but this one section alone, okay, has, I mean, it's like an endless stream of slides that I've had to do for, just for support and resistance, because there is so much information. It's not just about drawing a line on the chart. Okay, there's a lot that goes into being able to understand the language of price, and you'll notice here that I've put understanding the language of price is like learning any other language. It takes time and effort, but once learned, can open the door to countless opportunities in the market. And that is exactly what learning the language of price is. It is like learning a language. There are so many components to learning a language. Okay, you've got grammar, you've got verbs, you've got all of this stuff that kind of all comes together, in a way where you can speak a language, for example. So it's no different with trading. It's no different with, viewing charts and so on. So you'll see I've put, the first part is you and your role. Okay, and this first section here is going to be posted online. I may do a couple of these as well, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what this is, what this course is really all about. But you have you and your role, psychology and why it matters. This is super, super important. Okay, how intuition plays a role. Kind of a weird thing to discuss, right? And this is why I go back to what I was saying previously about, I genuinely believe that I have a gift, in the way that I am able to discuss things in the market that are very specific to the experience that the trader goes through, okay? And that's what makes it personal, all right? So having a section about intuition kind of seems a bit weird, but once I go through it, you will understand how it plays a massive role in trading, okay? Time and how this affects everything. Okay, so that's the first, sort of section 1. Section 2 is learning to really see the chart. This is where we really start to get into, the mechanics of, reading price, understanding the basics of price, understanding what liquidity really is. Okay, and the best place to start. So I'll kind of give you, all the information and all the, the tools that you need to kind of really start from a good foundation. Then we go to some pretty intense stuff, in terms of concepts, in terms of how to apply these concepts and so on. And this is in section 3, support and resistance. A lot of information here. Identifying liquidity. This is one that I get the most. How do you identify liquidity? If you have been around long enough and you've kind of seen me, whether it was through Patreon or whether it was through some of the free content that I posted, or the trading room that I was in, you'll know that I've obviously, or I'm very capable of, chart reading and picking levels, that are super sensitive, and price just for whatever reason seems to gravitate towards these levels very quickly, hit it to the pip and then kind of move away. And pip is just a forex term, but cent, pip, whatever, and then kind of move away. So identifying liquidity, many of you have seen me do this, okay, but not a lot of people understand how I identify liquidity, okay, and this is probably, of all this entire course, this is the section that will make the most sense to everybody, that truly wants to understand how to identify liquidity. Understanding time frames, super important, okay. Higher time frames, the daily chart, which has a complete section on its own, and if you get this far, then you'll understand why. Multiple time frame analysis. Again, multiple time frame analysis has been discussed ad infinitum. Okay, there are thousands and thousands of videos, posts, blogs, articles discussing multiple time frame analysis. But again, I believe I do it in a way that really hits home. Time of day, very important, and this is a market related thing. And then obviously section 4, this is about how you personally put all of this together, okay, into a routine that works, which is yours obviously. Experiencing the market, and I mean really experiencing the market, not just placing a trade, not just jumping into an investment, but to experience that, okay. Putting all of this together, and then your first real trade investment, okay, which I think you'll find extremely enlightening, once we get to this section. So this is effectively a rundown of what the course is really about, and it may kind of confuse some of you. You may be thinking, well, what about indicators? What about this section or that section, or you haven't discussed this or you haven't discussed that? This kind of doesn't really make sense, all of this in terms of technical analysis, and it's not supposed to. This is not indicator based, although I do discuss indicators at great length, but it's not indicator based. It's not candlestick based. It's not bar chart based. It's not based on oscillators or anything like that. It is based on understanding the language of price, and once you understand it and its components and how to read it, everything else really does become irrelevant. And that's what the key is here. It's about understanding, it's about experiencing, and it's about the feedback mechanism, the loop, where you experience the market, you take that in internally, and then you experience the market, you take it in internally, and you keep doing this over and over and over and over again until eventually you get to the point where you, I don't want to say become one with the market, but you do become very closely connected to what's going on in the market and what's going on the charts, to a point where you can just see areas of liquidity that make sense. You're able to map price backwards and forwards. You're able to effectively connect the dots going forward, which is quite a a pretty impressive feat. When you're talking about liquidity and the way that it builds up, open liquidity, resting orders, market orders, and so on, and all of this kind of put together into a language, which is, I love languages, and this is why I kind of went down this road over the years, to kind of really try to emphasize this idea, that it really is a language. Understanding price truly is a language, okay? So the Course is going to be available, I don't want to say soon, but I am working very hard to get this course out. And like I said, the first sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 and 6. I'm not sure about number 6 yet. Okay, but 1 to 5, these will be available online. They will be on YouTube, for everybody to watch and go through. And you will learn a lot in all of this. Yeah, there's so much information in just these first 5 presentations, that I think you'll find them extremely enlightening. Okay, so with all of that said, guys, I want to wish everybody a great day. Thank you very much for listening. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate any comments, both positive and negative. Leave those, in the comment section below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in part 1, you and your role. Take care.